I won't let you be used, Beth. Therefore, I've taken the appropriate steps. Charles?
Yes, sir.
Car ready?
What do you mean you've
Yes, sir.
taken appropriate steps? Bryce, what have you done?
I have written a letter to Peter Hamilton. He'll receive it when he gets back from Atlanta today.
What?
I told him that if he continues to see you, contrary to my wishes, his employment with Ellison Chadwick will be terminated.
I don't believe it. You mean you threatened him with...
I won't be home for dinner. Don't wait for me, Beth.
He won't care if you fire him.
No? Well, then let me ask you a question, Beth. If your name wasn't Chadwick, and you didn't, have all of this, do you think that, do you really think that Peter Hamilton would give you a second look? Now, I'm sorry if I sound cruel. I don't mean to be. But the sooner you face the facts, the better. And the cheaper it will be for all of us.
What about the price I've paid? First to father, then to you. Anything I wanted to do on my own, you or he prevented it.
Beth, this is hardly the time.
No, it never is.
Beth.
Bryce.
You know the most ridiculous thing happened. I've lost my key to the front door.
How did you get in?
With this.
A spare?
Yes, I leave it in a flower pot by the front door. Why didn't you answer? I was ringing.
Half asleep because I'd taken a sleeping pill.
The burglar alarm was on.
Well, yes, there's a switch beside my bed.
How does it work outside?
At the front door, well, if you have a key and use it, then it automatically turns the alarm off.
Ah. Do you have any idea why your brother went through your French doors, knowing he'd probably set the alarm off?
I guess he lost his keys and he came round the side of the house and tried to get in my window.
What time did you go to bed tonight, Miss Chadwick?
About 9:30. I didn't feel very well yesterday, so I didn't go out.
Excuse me. Did I hear you say you stayed home today?
Yes, that's what I said.
You didn't go out at all?
No, no, that's what I said.
Thank you.
So when you got there, then he was already dead.
I don't know what's going to happen to the company now. I certainly can't run it. And I don't want to bring anyone in from the outside.
You won't have to.
And what does that mean?
It means that I'm an officer of the company.
In name only.
That's because Bryce would never let me participate.
Of course he wouldn't. You aren't even capable of running your own life.
I've never been allowed to run my own life. Lieutenant, won't you sit down?
Thank you.
But things are different now, aren't they? There's a change in the status quo.
Suppose you ask the question that you haven't asked. Whether or not I'm a fortune hunter.
Well, I never intended.
I'm not. I love Beth. With her money or without her money. As a matter of fact, I was quite prepared to quit the company.
Of course, that won't be necessary now.
No, that won't. But I won't be a hypocrite, Lieutenant. I'm sorry about poor Bryce being killed, but it has gotten Beth out from under his thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, way out.
Huh?
What's that supposed to mean?
Way out? Well, in a courtroom, I overheard her say that she was breaking patterns. Now, this is a terrible thing to admit, but I think that, in a way, her brother's death is the best thing that ever happened to her.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please take your seats? Well, now, we've all been through a period of anxiety and indecision since my brother's death. But in a corporate sense, we must maintain our continuity. As you all well know, this is a family-owned firm. Therefore, as of today, I am assuming the presidency. All right, Lieutenant, I think that'll be enough.
Beg your pardon?
I want you to listen to this very carefully. I don't ever want to see you again. You'll be refused admittance to my house and to this office. I have a great deal of work to do, and I no longer can indulge your suspicions. If you think you have a case against me, go to the district attorney. Is that clear?
Yes. That's very clear.
I'm warning you. No more questions.
I wasn't going to ask a question, ma'am. I just wanted to return your bowl.
What can we do about him?
Mr. Hamilton, you asked me what I thought. Now I'm going to tell you. I think she set it up. I think it was deliberate. And I think you can help me prove it.
Oh, no, excuse me. You're sure that that's coffee that you're drinking? Because you're not making any sense. I was there. Now, I know Beth didn't kill anybody. It was an accident.
Can I tell you about my wife? You know, my wife, she's got a proverb for every situation. You know, with her, a rolling stone gathers no more. You gotta look before you leap.
I'm sure that your wife is a very nice woman. But what has that got to do with the case?
To be honest, she solved it for me. We're having an argument last night. She says to me, "You're putting the cart before the horse." And I said, "Right. In this case, the horse is before the cart." And I had the answer.
And what was that?
In the transcript, you weren't very specific. I know, I just read every word of it. But I think on the night of the murder, you said something. If you can remember that, and you tell me you got a terrific memory, then you'll know. You'll know for sure whether or not Beth Chadwick murdered her brother.
All right. And what do I remember?
Lieutenant Columbo? Is that you? Come on, Lieutenant. Come in and have a drink. Lieutenant Columbo.
This is the way your brother came in that night, isn't it?
How did you get in?
Same way your brother did, with a spare key. One of my men located your locksmith. He was very cooperative.
What do you expect to prove by this bit of nonsense?
Well, I don't want to prove anything, ma'am. I came to arrest you.
Arrest me?
Yes, ma'am. For the murder of your brother.
Oh.
And I did have a reason for coming in this way. I wanted to see the look on your face.
Very well. I'll consider myself under arrest. And now I want to see the look on your face when I call my lawyer.
You know what's ironic? I knew it wasn't an accident the first night. I knew it as soon as I saw that newspaper, but I didn't have any proof. I had to wait for the proof. I had to wait for your fiancé to give it to me.
From Peter?
Yes, ma'am. Although I don't think he meant to. You see, according to your story, you were asleep at night. The alarm woke you up, you reached for a gun, and you shot what you thought was a burglar.
Which is exactly what happened.
Couldn't be. Because Mr. Hamilton, who was driving up outside at the time, he heard both the shots and the alarm.
Of course he did. What difference does that make?
Oh, big difference. He heard the shots first, then the alarm. That's the cart before the horse. I mean, how could the alarm wake you if the shots came first? You see, what really happened was your brother came walking in here, just the way I did tonight. And you shot him. And then you set the alarm a few seconds later.
Peter is mistaken.
No, he's a very good lawyer, and he prides himself on his memory. And he won't like it. But he'll testify against you in court if he has to. And along with the other holes in your story, I think they'll convict you. No, really, you don't want to do that. Policeman outside, what would be the point? Besides, you're too classy a woman. Man, would you get dressed now? Take all the time you need. Just one more thing.